Okay, so financial statement analysis. Okay. Definitely class in your financial accounting and reporting, no? You have discussed in your financial accounting the components of financial statement, no? First and foremost, we have the statement of financial position, or traditionally known as the balance sheet. Next, we have the statement of comprehensive income, no? Which is traditionally known as the income statement. Okay? And cash flow statement. Of course, doon natin na ipapakita class kung saan galing at saan nagastos yung ating cash, no? Is it operating activity? Okay? Day-to-day transactions po 'yon, no? We have investing activity, okay? For long-term investment, acquisition of non-current assets, and financing activities, no? Like probably having cash from bank loan or issuance of stocks, issuance of bonds. So financing activities tong mga to. Okay? So bakit kailangan nating balikan, no? At alamin itong mga components ng financial statements such as yung mga nabanggit. And also, we have the statement of changes in equity, no? Yung capital, okay? We have additional income minus dividends kung meron man, and the ending capital. And last, ito yung pangpakapal ng FS, mga kapatid, no? Medyo dumadami ang pages because of the notes to the financial statement, which will explain, okay, the breakdown, okay, the components of the receivable, example lang, cash, no? Cash in bank ba yan, cash on hand, etc. So, nandoon yung mga explanation kung paano na come up with the balances yung nasa different components, no? Balance sheet, income statement, cash flow, and changes in equity. Okay? So, in your subject, no? Strategic business analysis, syempre as a business, okay, entity, hindi po maiiwasan na kailangan mo namang mag-present at mag-prepare ng financial statement. First and foremost, if you are operating as a corporation or partnership, no, it is required by the SEC to submit the audited financial statement. Okay? Kung sole proprietorship naman, okay, syempre baka nag-loan ka sa bangko, kailangan po ng mga interim and audited financial statement din, okay, para support doon sa loan mo na you can still, okay, comply and you can still pay, no? Makikita nila doon sa solvency or liquidity mo, you can still pay the short and long-term obligation, no? So you have to again present yung financial statement. Or sa BIR, mga kapatid, no? You have learned this in your taxation that if the taxpayer, no, accumulated sales of more than 3 million, no? Ibig sabihin yan, yung threshold na vatable, no? Even if you're non-VAT, you are required to submit financial statement sa BIR. So ngayon, ang topic natin is financial statement analysis, no? Sa business, okay, doon mo makikita kasi, no, mababasa mo ang status or standing ng business. Depende sa kanyang ire-report na FS, okay? Financial statement. So you have learned in your Finman the different kinds of FS analysis, different modes in analyzing the financial statement. We have the horizontal, vertical analysis, and the financial ratio and the DuPont technique, no? So babalikan natin yan. Let us revisit, no, itong FS analysis. So we have here, okay, the things to consider. First, the financial statement, limitation of the financial statements, financial statement analysis, the role of financial analysis in decision making, tools and techniques in financial analysis, limitations of ratio analysis, and cash flow statements. Okay. You're done with your valuation method class, no? Tsaka financial management. So, again, na-discuss doon yung kung paano mag-compute ng cash flow statement din. Financial statement is the summarized data of company's asset, liabilities, equities in the balance sheet, and its revenue and expenses in income statement. So, nandyan po yung tinatawag nating statement of financial position and statement of comprehensive income. Financial managers, no? Use this statement in financing, investing, and formulating dividend policy decision. In your Finman, you have learned, no, yung tinatawag nating dividend discount model. We have learned the residual dividend model. Okay? Yung dividend policy. No? Kailan ka magde-declare ng dividend, magkano i-declare mong dividend. So, nakadepende po doon sa standing ng kumpanya. And again, financial managers, okay, these are employees, no, or officers of the firm who manages the firm, okay, particularly the finances. Say for example, yung CFO natin, no, Chief Financial Officer, the treasurer, the accountant, these are financial managers, okay? Other officers like Vice President for Operations, Vice President for Production, Marketing, hindi sila financial managers, no? Iba naman ang ima-manage nila, no? So dito, okay, we focus more on finances, okay? They are concerned primarily with the standing of the company and its profitability that leads to maximization of stockholders' wealth. The ultimate goal, again, class, according sa Finman natin na diniscuss before, is stockholders' wealth maximization, okay? Or also known as market value maximization. Okay? They use financial statements as their first-hand information about the company's performance in the past and its prospects in the future. So, meron nga tayong tinatawag na analysis, no? Forecast. Okay? So, 5-year, okay? 3-year forecast. Okay? So, we have the so-called vertical and horizontal analysis. Okay? So, vertical within the year. Horizontal, last year, current year, next year. Financial institutions use the financial statements as a tool in ascertaining the company's capability to produce cash in making payment. So, again, like a bank, like what I have mentioned, nagre-require sila na mag-submit ka ng FS to check kung kaya mo pang ma-meet yung obligation mo, short-term or long-term. What are the limitations of financial statement? There are variations in application of accounting principles. That's one of the limitations. Financial statements are interim in nature. Okay? Financial statements do not reflect changes in purchasing power of the peso, meaning, mga kapatid, no? Inflation, no? Kung ano po ang balance ng cash natin, balance ng receivable, yun pong nire-reflect natin doon. Pero yung power niya to purchase, okay? It is affected by inflation. Okay? By the global market. So, ang presyo ng gasolina last year can be different from the price this year. And yung amount ng nasa bank mo, ganun pa rin naman yung amount niya. Di ba? Kaya nga, one of the limitation is the purchasing power due to inflation. Financial statement do not contain all significant facts about the business. Definitely, no? Ilalagay mo lang dyan yung mga may figures, no? Pero yung plano mo kung paano gagawin, okay? Kung ano yung for expansion, okay, ng business, not necessarily na i-disclose mo doon. Okay? Or number of employees, no need, no, to disclose, okay? O kaya naman yung mga other policies or guidelines ng kumpanya, okay, in giving or granting benefits or promotion package, no, doon sa mga employees, no need to indicate doon sa FS. So hindi lahat, not all the facts, okay, about the business are indicated in the financial statement. So again, doon makikita natin, mafo-forecast natin kung ano yung standing niya, pero not necessarily the exact picture of the business. Diba? Kumbaga parang meron ka lang overview kung ano ang nangyayari sa business. Pangalawa, sa totoong buhay, no? Estimate lang din yung mga amount na nandoon. Kaya nga may auditor. At yung auditor class na external auditors, they grant or they provide, I should say, an unqualified opinion, qualified opinion, adverse opinion as to what is presented in the FS. Okay? Parang walang mali, may mali, pero ito yung gagawin, etc. Okay? Okay. So, tama except for, oh, that's qualified. So, ibig sabihin, estimate lang din. So, it does not reflect all, okay, the significant facts about the business. Example, dividend discount model. Okay. As we all know, the market value of the price or the stock may or may not be equivalent to the intrinsic value or the true value of the stock, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin, class, yung FS hindi mo rin makikita lahat doon kung magkano yung expected dividend, 'di ba? Dividend discount model, you have learned this. Div 1 over RS minus G, no? Dividend 1 expected, RS the rate of return, G is the growth rate. Okay. Mako-compute mo probably pero hindi siya uh, provided, okay, doon sa FS agad-agad, ano? Unless you are an insider. Okay? So limitation of financial statement. Financial statement analysis, okay, is an evaluation of the past and the current performance of the firm and its forecast in the future. It allows comparison of the company with another company. Okay? Kagaya po ng Cebu Pacific, pwede mong i-compare sa PAL, no? Kung ano po ang kanyang kunyari, uh, return on sales, di ba? Net income over net sales, ilang percent. Kung ikaw ay investor, we tend to check on the profitability of the firm, no? We have return on equity, okay? For every equity investment, magkano babalik sa'yo? Okay? Return on asset, di ba? Kung ikaw naman ang bank, titignan mo yung solvency, no? Kaya ba niyang magbayad ng utang or liquidity? Okay? So ayan po. Kung ikaw yung supplier naman, activity ratio. Financial ratios is one of the methods used to analyze companies' financial statement. No? Financial analysts, through the help of financial ratios, focus on companies' financial strength, liquidity, safety of investment, effectiveness of management, and profitability growth rates to ascertain its value or credit worthiness. Growth rates are usually a function of industry's growth rates, competitive advantage, and corporate strategy. So the tools and techniques in financial analysis, okay? We have horizontal analysis. Alam nyo na yan, class, no? Pag sinabing horizontal, within the year. Okay? Sorry, year 1, year 2, year 3. Vertical po yung within the year. No? This is used to evaluate the trend in accounts over the years. So last year, current year, next year. It is usually shown in comparative financial statement. Okay? So, comparative statements compared our financial data of 2 years showing the increase or decrease in the account balances with their corresponding percentage. So, last year versus current year divided by last year, doon mo makikita yung pag positive, increase. Kapag negative, nag-decrease. Okay. Trend ratio, a firm's present ratio is compared with the past and expected future ratios to determine whether the company's financial condition is improving. So, ano yung trend niya? Like sales, okay? Makikita nyo yung, di ba, may mga graph pa nga yan eh. Pataas, bumagsak, tapos tumaas ulit, tapos bumagsak. So, yan yung trend. Okay? And then, naging stable, tapos tumaas. Yan. Okay? So, trend ratio analysis. Okay. Now, aside from this, we have vertical analysis. It uses significant items of financial statement as base value. So, itong base value na ito, okay? Like, say for example, no? Sa balance sheet, it is the total asset as the base value. So, kung alamin mo kung ilang percent ang receivable, divide by total asset. Okay? Debt ratio, okay? Total debt over total asset. Okay? For income statement or statement of comprehensive income, it is the sales as the base value. Ilang percent ang net income over sales? Okay, that's return on sales. Ilang percent ang gross profit over sales? That's gross profit margin. Cost of sales over sales. So, ibig sabihin, doon mo makikita, class, no? Sa vertical analysis, kung ilang percent ang na-allocate or na-allat doon sa base amount na yan. All other financial items on the statements are compared with it. So common size statement, each account in the financial statement is expressed by dividing them to a common base account. Ito na po yun, total asset, liabilities, equity, sales, or net sales. So financial ratios, okay? Ito hindi na bago sa inyo, no? Liquidity ratio, it is the company's ability to meet its short-term obligation. Activity ratio, it is used to determine how quickly various accounts are converted into sales or cash. Okay? So, utilization ratio din ang tawag sa kanya, no? Activity ratio, and we have here asset utilization ratio, or the so-called cash conversion cycle, normal operating cycle, yung mga activity, no? How easily you convert, okay, inventory into cash, no, activity. Nung binili mo siya, payable. Tapos nung binenta mo on account, receivable. Okay, period. And nung na-collect mo siya, okay, you have here, na-convert mo na siya, cash conversion cycle. Leverage ratio or solvency, no? It is the company's ability to meet its ito naman long-term obligation as they become due. Okay? Profitability ratio, this is not new to you mga kapatid, no? The different kinds of profitability ratios, we have return on asset, return on income, or rather return on sales, I should say, return on asset, return on equity. We have margin, net profit margin, okay? Gross profit margin, operating profit margin. Aside from return and margin, you can also consider yung mga price earnings ratio, earnings per share, dividend per share, etc. Okay? So yan yung mga profitability ratio. It shows the profitability of the operation of the company. Okay? So kung may dividend per share, may dinideclare na dividend, kumikita siya. Okay? Earnings per share, pag positive, may net income. Okay? It highlights the firm's effectiveness in handling its operations. Okay? So kumikita po yung business. Market value ratio. This relates to the firm's stock price to its earnings. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag class na payout ratio. Okay? Price earnings ratio, that's market price over earnings per share. Okay? POR D per dividend yield. And POR payout ratio, DY dividend yield, PER price earnings ratio. Okay, so these are the different ratios that you have to consider. And comparative statement. Ito po yung nabanggit ko na kanina, no? To determine the increase or decrease, all you have to do is just to compare the last year, okay, minus the base year over the base year times 100%. Comparative statement are used to evaluate changes or behavior patterns of different accounts. So, pwedeng receivable, pwedeng inventory, okay, pwedeng accounts payable, no? Okay, different accounts in the financial statement for 2 or more years. So, last year minus base year, which is current year, over the current year. Say, for example, total asset last year is 445,000. Base year, 380. Okay, divide by 380. So, you have here 17.11. Okay, so that is, we have here the so-called decrease, no? Lumiit. Okay. Ito po yung sample, no? Sample FS balance sheet. Okay. Bakit po balance sheet yan? Kasi yung mga account provided ay asset and liabilities. 2014, 13, 12, okay? And increase or decrease. 2013, 2014, 2012, and 2013. Percentages. Ito yung amount increase. Okay? I hope nakikita nyo, class, no? From 65 naging 70. Okay? Sorry, from 75, 2012, naging 70. So there is a decrease by 5,000. From 70, naging 65, decrease further of 5,000. Okay? So 75 minus 70 divided by 70, there is a decrease in percentage. So 2012 to 2013, 6.67%. From 70 to 65 divided by 65, there is decrease by 7.14%. Same ang nangyari po pababa. Okay? So this is comparative financial statement. Last year and current year. Last year and base year. Okay? So, ganyan po. When using trend ratio, the firm must choose a year that represents the firm's activity base. Okay? Individual accounts in the financial statement of the base year is assigned as an index of 100. Okay, so year 1 over base year times 100. The index for each respective account in the succeeding year is determined by dividing the account's amount by the base year amount and multiply it by the quotient, or multiply the quotient, I should say, by 100%. So ito po, no? For the year after the base year, the formula is year 1 over the base year times 100%. 2 years after the base year, year 2 divided by the base year. So mamili ka kung anong year yung magiging basis and kung anong year na po ang i-compute mo na percentage niya. Okay, that is another way, no, in determining the trend. So for example, cash ratio. Okay, below is an illustration of how trend analysis is done in comparative financial statement. So you have 70, okay, over 75. So 2013. So balik lang tayo dito, class, ha. Ito po yung 2013, 70. 2012, 75. 2014, it is 65. Ito po sila, no? Highlight lang natin, class. We have 65, 70, and 75. Okay? So ano ba yung trend niya? So 2012, 75, 2013, 70, and 2014 is 65. So we have here year 1 over base. 75 ang ginamit natin because that is the base amount, no? We have the 2012. So 70 over 75, that's 2012, times 100%, 93.33%. Okay? While for 2014, 75 pa rin yung 2012 na cash. Tapos 65 na siya ngayon. So, times 100, 86.67. It shows that there is decrease in the cash ratio. Okay? So, ayan po. Common-sized analysis of balance sheet of FMA company for the year 2012 to 2014. So, ito po, no? Cash, ito po yun. From 75 to 70 to 65. Receivable, 20 to 35 to 40. Nag-increase. Inventory or marketable securities, 10 to 35 to 40, and so on. Okay? Tapos, pag kinomon size mo siya, gagawin mo na siyang percentage, in percentage form. And the total asset will be the basis, yung 445. Paano kinompute itong 14.61? 65 over 445, 14.61. 40 over 445, 8.99. So 445 over 445, it is 100%. Okay? So that is the basis under the common-sized, okay, financial statement. The base amount is your total asset. Okay? So with regard to liability, ito namang 110,800. Ito po yun, ano? Yan. I-divide mo naman sa 445. Kaya 24.89 or 90% ang common-sized, okay, analysis, financial statement natin, balance sheet natin for the current liability. So again, may base amount tayo, which is the total assets. Okay, so that is for the total asset. How about the equity? Okay, so ganun din po, mga kapatid, no? Okay, we have 100,000 divided by the base amount. Okay, ipakita lang natin dito. And the base amount, class, is 445,000. Okay, we have retained earnings amounting to 74,200 divided by the base amount of 445,000. So you have 16.67. So ganun po. Okay? That is how you determine the common size analysis or common sized balance sheet for each account. Dapat meron kang basis. Okay, sa balance sheet, it is the total asset. Kapag ka naman sa income statement, it is the net sales. Okay. Next, we have common-sized statement. A significant item on the financial statement is used as the base value, and all other items on the financial statements are compared with it. In performing common size analysis for the balance sheet, total assets are assigned as the base account with percentage of 100%. Okay? An individual asset account is expressed as percentage of total assets. Yan po. Siyempre class, no, sa pag-submit ng FS sa SEC or sa BIR, hindi po common size ang isasubmit. Okay? Yun pong amount ang isasubmit natin, hindi po yung percentage. Okay? In assessing the significance of various financial statement data, expert engage in financial ratio analysis. Okay? The process of determining and evaluating financial ratios, a financial statement ratio is the relationship that indicates something about company's activity. Kaya nga meron tayong liquidity about how the company was able to pay the short-term obligation. Solvency naman, the capability of the firm or company to pay its long-term obligation. Okay? We have activity or asset utilization ratio and the profitability. Okay? So there are several points to keep in mind about ratios. First, financial ratios indicate areas of strength or weaknesses. Di ba? Makikita mo kung, uy, kaya ba niya magbayad ng long term, short term? Profitable ba siya? Strength and weaknesses. There is no single correct value for a ratio. So wala pong pinaka clear-cut rule na ito dapat ang ma-maintain na ratio. No? Pero merong interpretation dyan. No? Say for example, plus napakalaki. Kunyari lang, napakataas ng cash ratio mo. Di ba? So, hindi mo masyado nagagamit yung cash, hindi mo na i-invest kasi masyado kang nag-iimbak ng cash. Okay? It can be interpreted as doon sa asset utilization, hindi mo nabibili siya, na ibibili ng inventory na ibebenta. So, it might affect your profitability. Pero, ang kagandahan naman, ang strength mo doon, kung umutang ka, may security yung nagpapautang sa'yo kasi meron kang available na pambayad. 'Di ba? Kung short term. Kung long term naman, okay, baka wala ka masyadong cash pero solvent ka naman, marami ka namang non-current asset na pwedeng pambayad. Okay? So, strength and weaknesses. Yan. Financial ratios provide 2 points of comparison. No? Industry comparison. Okay? Financial ratios are computed and compared with the industry average. So, kung wala namang palang clear-cut na parang standard, PFRS, na ito dapat yung rate, meron tayong tinatawag na industry. No? Kunyari, sa banking industry, nandyan yung mga iba't ibang bangko, no? BPI, BDO, Metrobank, East West. So, kung ikaw ay sa mga bangko na yan, sino bang leading? Okay? Doon sa industry na yan. So, yan yung ibe-benchmark mo. Okay? So, kunyari, sa oil industry naman, nandyan ang Petron, Shell, etc. So, sila naman yung pagkukumperan mo. Okay? Industry comparison. Okay? It will be illogical to compare kung ikaw ay uh, nasa oil industry tapos ang pinagkukumperan mo ay food. Say for example, si Jollibee Food Corporation, no? Hindi siya logical. Okay? Hindi siya kumbaga uh, magkakaroon ng connection. Trend analysis. The firm's financial ratio are computed and compared with their past performance. By the trend, the company will know if their financial performance is improving or not over the year. So, kung ayaw mong mag-analyze class ng yung mga percentage, you can utilize class yung graph na lang. Uy, pataas ang sales. O di ba? Okay. Obviously, ma-analyze mo na gumaganda ang marketing mo kasi tumataas ang sales. Uy, pababa. Medyo nagkukulang yata tayo sa marketing strategy natin. Okay? So, that might affect your business. Diba? Kaya nga, strategic business analysis. Okay? Uy, yung expense natin, tumataas ngayong sales, yung trend natin sales, pero tumataas din yung cost natin. O, di parang wala ding nangyayari doon sa ating, wala ding change sa gross profit o kaya naman sa income. Diba? So, anong dapat gawin? Di ba? Okay, kailangan nating probably magtipid. think of other ways na pataas pa rin yung sales pero at a lower cost. Yan, para tumaas pa rin ang income natin. Okay? Para kung merong investor sa business natin, may papakita natin sa kanila na, oh, nakita nyo ha, yung profit namin. Okay? Ito, ganito kataas. Ito lang yung cost of investment. Ito lang yung cost. Okay? Na may maintain na natin. No? Siyempre, may variable and fixed cost tayong pinag-uusapan class. Diba? So, these are to be presented and it is a must na dapat dun sa FS natin, may pakita mo na dun. So kung ayaw mong i-analyze siya in percentage form, you can use via trend. No? Trend. So yan. Okay, so tools and techniques in financial analysis. We have liquidity ratio, our prime concern of short-term creditors. No? Yan po ang titignan ng mga nagpapautang at naniningil for a short period of time. No? Yan po, short term. Okay. Because this provide insight of the firm's capability to pay its current obligation. The firm's liquidity ratio affects its capability or capacity to borrow. Working capital class, this is current asset minus current liability. Alam nyo na po ito. No? Kumbaga, this is just a reiteration or review of what you have discussed in your FinMan. Or net working capital. Okay, the difference between current asset and current liability. Okay. For example, the FMA's working capital for 2012 and 2013 to 2014. So you have current asset 245,000 for 2014, 110,800 for 2014 current liab. So you have 134,200 working capital. Sa 2013 ganun din. 115 and 2012 101,000. So nag-increase, no? Ang trend niya increasing ang working capital natin. Okay, from 101 to 115 to 134,200. Okay. We have current ratio. Again, current ratio is equivalent to current asset over current liability. Okay? So yan po, no? Siyempre sa 2013, 2014, 2012, 2013, 2014, you have current asset over current liab. Your current ratio now is 2.21. Sa bawat piso, kaya yan lang po yung sinasabi ng current ratio, na liability mo, you have 2 pesos and 21 cents to pay for the liability. Same with 2013. Sa bawat piso na obligasyon mo, current, you have 2 pesos and 10 centavos to pay for the current liability. And for 2012, 1.97. Ibig sabihin, class, increasing. Gumaganda ang iyong current ratio. Okay? So kung ikaw ang creditor ng FMA, okay, huwag kang mangamba kasi meron siyang nakaalat na 2 pesos and 21 cents ngayon for every peso na pautang mo na currently maturing. So the current ratio is computed by dividing current asset by current liability. This ratio is probably the most frequently used measure of liquidity. Okay? But the stringent test, mga kapatid, the most strict or stringent test is the acid test ratio. Okay, na-discuss nyo na yun sa FinMan class, no? Kapag sinabing acid test ratio, okay, tinatanggal natin yung mga inventory, no? Kasi yung current asset natin, yung mga nearly convertible into cash lang ang i-consider natin, no? Current ratio. Okay. And this is called as quick ratio. Yan. Okay, acid test ratio or quick ratio. Like current ratio, it reflects firm's ability to pay short-term obligation. Thus, the higher the quick ratio, the more liquid the firm is. Ibig sabihin, kayang-kaya niyang bayaran. No? Ang component ng quick ratio, cash. Marketable securities. Madaling i-convert sa cash dahil ibebenta mo na lang. Receivable, i-collect mo na lang. Divided by current liab. Ibig sabihin, dito, kasama pa sa current asset ang inventory. Pero doon sa quick ratio, tinanggal mo na ang inventory sa current asset. Okay? So all you have to do is just to consider yung mga quickly convertible into cash. Yan. So 1.31, 1.33, and 1.01 are the quick ratios for 2012, 2013, and 2014. Cash position ratio. Ito naman, class, no? Maliban sa tinanggal mo dito ang inventory, tinanggal mo dito ang receivable. Ayan. Kaya natitira class yung cash na mismo. Okay? Yung madali nang i-convert into cash at hindi mo na kailangan mag-collect. Cash plus yung marketable security na ibebenta mo na lang. Like treasury bill, no? Ibenta mo na lang yon. Kaya naman investment mo sa market, no? Yung short-term investment mo. Okay? As mentioned under quick asset ratio, there is a possibility of encountering problems with accounts receivable. Kasi yung accounts receivable pwedeng maging bad debt, hindi mo siya makolekta. Okay? Accounts which are not properly managed will take some time to be converted into cash. Sabihin, hindi siya easily collected. Worse, mga kapatid, hindi na talaga na-collect if they are still collectible, no? Making them not liquid. The cash position ratio is a step closer to pure liquidity by removing the accounts receivable from quick ratio. So ito naman ang ating formula, no? Technically, this is cash ratio. Okay? Cash position ratio. Okay, so sa cash ratio natin, we have in 2014, okay, company's average accounts receivable, mga kapatid, 40,000 plus 35 divided by 2, that's 37,500. Okay? And 2013, 35 plus 20,000 divided by 2, that's 27,500. Okay? So, we can consider also, okay, accounts receivable turnover ratio. But this is no longer part of the liquidity. No? So, accounts receivable turnover ratio class, this is part of your activity ratio. At alam kong alam nyo naman na yan. No? For 2014 and 2013. So, sales, particularly credit sales, divided by average receivable, this is AR turnover, 4.27 times. Ibig sabihin, 4.27 times kang makapag-collect. No? Ganun po kabilis mag-collect ng receivable. Dito naman 165,000 times 27,500 ang receivable mo, then 6.73 times naman. Okay? Na beses kang mag-collect nung sales mo, yung receivable mo dun sa sales na yan. Okay? Pero kung i-convert mo siya into days, 360 divided by 4.27, yun po yung number of days na hintayin mo bago ka makapag-collect. And then 360 days divided by 6.73, if silent class 360 days, no? Unless specified na 365. Yun naman yung days sales outstanding or kung gaano ka katagal or kabilis mag-collect ng receivable. And we have activity ratio. No? So ayan po. So activity ratio or asset management or asset utilization ratio, it measures the firm's efficiency in managing its asset. Okay? These activity ratios are used in determining how rapid various accounts are converted into sales or cash. Kagaya po nito, no? Okay? Accounts receivable turnover. This estimates how fast the accounts receivable is converted into cash. Gaano mo siya kabilis makolekta? Yun po ang sinasabi nito, no? Average accounts receivable is obtained by adding the beginning and ending. Ito po yun, no? Beginning plus ending, divide it by 2. If there is no net credit sales information, net sales can be used. So, to be more particular, ito, net credit sale dapat. Kapag wala, net sale okay na. Okay? So, yan po. Ito rin siya. No? Naulit lang. Average inventory divided by average AR, no? AR beginning, AR end divided by 2, that's average AR. And you have here net credit sales or net sales pag hindi available divided by average AR. This is the number of times turnover. Gaano kabilis makapag-collect. Okay? So the lower, okay, the lower the number, mas mabagal ka makapag-collect kasi 360 divided by 4. The higher the number, mas mabilis ka makapag-collect. Okay? 360 divided by 6. Okay. So to convert it in days, ito po yun, average collection period or also known as day sales outstanding, 360 divided by AR turnover. So 84.31 days. And dito naman, 53.49 days. Ito class, hindi na bago sa inyo to class, no? Na-discuss naman na ito. Inventory turnover naman, class, instead of sales, no? Cost of goods sold naman ang numerator and average inventory naman ang denominator. At ganito po siya kinompute, mga kapatid, inventory turnover. Okay? We compute for the average inventory, beginning inventory plus ending inventory divided by 2. And the numerator, class, okay, should be cost of goods sold. Okay? Kasi ang entry mo, debit cost of goods sold, credit inventory. Okay? So, I will be uploading, class, recorded lecture din, no? Yung aking recorded lecture sa Finman, particularly yung FS analysis, no? Para mas ma-emphasize din natin ito using other material. So, average age of inventory, this is also known as day sales inventory. It is 360 days divided by inventory turnover. So, ito po siya, 360 over 1.11. Abay, ang tagal po, mga kapatid. This is how long, no? You convert inventory into sale. Mabenta mo siya 324 days bago mo siya mabenta. Bagal. 281 days na nasa display mo bago mabenta. Mabagal po, no? Ganyan po ang average age of inventory. Operating cycle, the normal operating cycle, class, is composed of average collection period and average age of inventory. So technically, this is also known as your AR period, average receivable period. Gaano mo kabilis makolekta, and inventory period, INP. Gaano mo naman kabilis mabenta. Ayan. Okay? So that is operating cycle. So 84 days plus 324, 408 days ang normal operating cycle mo. Okay? Same with 2013, 334 days naman siya. Bagal. Pero, kung cash conversion cycle ang pinag-usapan, dagdagan na natin, this is normal operating cycle minus, okay, AP period, accounts payable period. Okay? Normal operating cycle minus accounts payable period. And accounts payable period is, of course, okay, this is 360 days. Kagaya po ng INTO, inventory turnover, 360 days divided by, inventory period, I should say. 360 days divided by inventory turnover. So, ang AP period, it is 360 days divided by AP turnover, up to. Okay, up to. Yan. Okay, at ang up to, accounts payable turnover naman, class, it is equivalent to, okay, we have here purchases, okay, net credit purchases, divide it by average accounts payable. Class, ito hindi na bago sa inyo to, class, no? Okay. So, balikan lang po natin itong mga ito sa ating Strava. Okay? Fixed asset turnover. So, you have sales over average net fixed asset. Okay? Ganun din po ang ating computation. It is considered as most important long-term asset of the firm in the balance sheet. Fixed asset turnover measures how well the firm uses every peso of fixed asset invested to generate sale. Para siyang asset turnover din. Pero focus lang sa fixed asset. Hindi kasama yung mga other assets. Okay? So, total asset turnover naman, okay? Lahat na, hindi lang fixed asset. So, net sales over total asset. Kagaya po nito, okay? Average asset mo muna, 445 sa 2014 plus 2013 na 380 divided by 2, 412,500 ang average asset. So, sa 2014, ang iyong asset turnover is 160 ang net sales divided by 412,500. So, you have 38.79% or 0.3879. Leverage ratio. This ratio indicate, okay, up to what extent the firm finance its investment by borrowing. So, this is the ratio that determines the capability of the firm, okay, to pay its long-term obligation. Ayan po, no? Debt financing rather than equity financing. The more debt they incur, the higher their leverage ratio is. And the higher the financial risk they will face. Siyempre mga kapatid, kapag umuutang ka, tumataas ang iyong financial risk. Okay? So, example, we have debt ratio. This is total liability over total asset. Okay? Debt to equity ratio naman mga kapatid, it is total liability over total equity. Okay? So, these are not new to you mga kapatid. No? Times interest earned ratio, that this is one of the leverage ratios. Okay? It is equivalent to EBIT. No? EBIT is earnings before interest and tax. Hindi po siya earnings before income tax. Okay? Divided by interest expense. So that is your times interest earned ratio. Gaano po, okay, kabilis or kalaki ang nakaalat na pambayad sa interest expense mo. Okay? Siyempre, kung 9 times, by 9 times mong kayang bayaran ng interest, okay? So, kung ikaw ang creditor, papautangin mo siya because the times interest earned ratio is high enough. Okay? The lower, siyempre, medyo magiging prudent ka naman na nagpapautang. Okay? Profitability ratios, these are indicators of good financial health and evaluate how effectively the firm is being managed to earn satisfactory profit and return on investment. Ayan. So babalik sa investment. Profitability ratios measures management effectiveness in terms of rate of return on sales, asset, and equity. Kaya nga meron tayong return on asset, return on sale, return on equity. Meron din tayong tinatawag class na margin. Ito na po yun. Gross profit margin. This is gross profit over net sales. We also have net profit margin. No? This is net income over net sales. Profit margin, to be specific, net profit po yan. Okay? This is the measure or measurement of management efficiency. Okay? It is the ratio of net income over net sales. So that's net profit margin. So you have net profit, operating profit, and gross profit margin. Okay? And we have return on investment. Okay? Return on investment measures the income. So pag sinabing return, net income ang nasa numerator. For every peso of investment made to the firm. The higher the income generated per peso, the better, definitely. No? Return on total asset measures the income generated for every peso invested in asset. So sa bawat piso na asset, magkano ang na-generate niyang income. Siyempre kung ikaw ang investor, return on investment ang titignan mo. Sa bawat piso na ininvest ko, magkano ang babalik na income sa akin. Okay? And we have here the DuPont analysis. Okay? This is not new to you mga kapatid. No? Return on total asset is equal to profit margin times total asset turnover. Okay? So return on asset, we have ROS, ATO, ROA. ROA. ROA is return on asset. ROS, return on sale. That is profit margin. Ito po yun. Net income over net sale. And ATO is asset turnover, net sale over asset. Kaya cancel net sales. Ang natitira na lang, net income over asset. Kaya yan ang return on asset. Applying the DuPont technique, which is an integrative approach in explaining and looking at difference in return on total asset. It is another way of computing return on asset by getting product of profit margin. Kaya tandaan class dito, okay? Yung tinatawag nating ROS ATO ROA. ROS times ATO is equal to ROA. Okay? Yan po yung DuPont technique natin. Okay? And we have return on equity. The return on common equity measures the rate of return earned on common stock of equity. So sa bawat piso na ininvest mo sa stocks, magkano naman ang babalik sa'yo? A stockholder invest in firm with expectation of return on their money. Return on equity is determined by dividing net income after tax by average common stockholders' equity. Okay? So ito po mga kapatid, ang ating ROE, okay? Net income after tax minus preferred stock dividend. Kasi nga, itong return on equity natin focuses on, okay, on common stock. Kaya tanggalin mo rin ang preferred stock if ever na meron. Okay? So that is for return on equity. And we have also DuPont technique in determining return on equity. No? We have the equity multiplier, average total asset over average common equity. Ito po yung ROS, return on sale. Okay? And you have here, ito, ROS pala to. Ayan. Return on sale, ROS times ATO. Okay? we have here the asset turnover. Okay? Ito yon. Multiply it by equity multiplier. Yan. So yan yung pag-compute mo ng tinatawag natin na return on equity. Okay? ROS times ato times equity multiplier, which is average total asset divided by average equity. So cancel lang po. Cancel yung net income. Okay? Sorry, cancel yung net sales, I should say. Okay? We have here net sales. Cancel mo yung net sales sa ato. Cancel mo yung average total asset. Average total asset. Ang natitira na lang, net income over average equity. Okay? So this is the DuPont technique with regard to, okay, return on equity. Ayan. Okay? So ito po yung sample naman natin. Okay? And sa market value ratios, we have mentioned kanina earnings per share. This is net income minus preferred dividend divided by WANOSO or common stockholders. Okay? And weighted average number of ordinary shares outstanding is your WANOSO. Okay? So magkakaroon tayo ng sample computation din yan. I will be providing handout mga kapatid no for you to compute no itong mga ratios na ito. Price earnings ratio as indicated kanina sa discussion natin, it's market price per share divided by earnings per share. Okay? These are not new to you mga kapatid, no? It is a useful indicator of the investor's perception about firm's prospect. Okay? A firm's price earnings ratio depends primarily on two factors, the future growth in the earnings and the risk directly associated with expected earnings. Okay? As the price of the firm stock rises, the price earnings ratio also increases. Yan. So, mga kapatid, market value because there is market price. And we have here the book value per share. The book value per share, it is the total stockholders' equity minus the preferred stock divided by the common stock. Yan. Book value per share. Which is, again, okay, the value of the firm. Ito po yun. Book value is the value of the firm on the perspective of accounting while market value signifies market valuation of the firm's equity. Kaya nga, may pagkakaiba sa book at saka market price, okay, per share natin. So market to book value ratio, okay, market price per share divided by book value per share. Yan naman yung market to book value ratio. It is the value of the firm's security as perceived by the market. Kaya market price, magkaiba po ang intrinsic value sa market value, okay? And high market to book value ratio means that investors are more optimistic. Marami ang gustong mag-invest kasi willing silang bumili at higher price. The market value of the firm, resources, capabilities of top management, expected growth of the firm, and the formula for the market to book value ratio is market price per share divided by book value per share. Yan po. Dividend ratio, definitely, no? Dividend yield ang tinatawag natin. Kaya nga may pour deeper akong nabanggit kanina. Payout ratio, dividend yield, and price earnings ratio. This is dividend per share divided by market price per share. That's dividend yield. Okay? It reflects the relationship between the dividends earned per share and the market price per share. Okay. So, dividend payout naman. Okay, we have payout ratio, dividend per share over earnings per share. Yan. At meron din tayo tinatawag class na flowback ratio. Okay, flowback ratio is 1 minus payout ratio. Okay, so these are not new to you class. Okay, na-discuss na natin to sa FinMan and you will discuss this also in your valuation method. Okay, so limitations of ratios. Tingnan natin class. We have discussed the limitations of ratios a while ago, no? First limitation, all the industry averages are published. It is difficult to use them because of the complexities of different sectors within the industry. Ibig sabihin, magkakaiba kasi sila, no? Kahit na may industry benchmark ka, hindi naman sila pare-parehas ng diskarte kung paano nila i-manage ang kanilang business, 'di ba? Kahit sabi mo si PAL at saka si Cebu Pacific, magkaiba pa rin naman sila ng to same industry, magkaiba sila ng way on how they conduct their business, 'di ba? May mga diskarte si PAL na wala kay Cebu Pacific. Meron din kay Cebu na wala kay PAL. It is more appropriate to obtain information and compute for financial ratio of major competitors. A ratio does not show its major component. Okay, thus it is misleading to interpret a ratio without considering the major component. So these are some limitations ng ratio. Cash flow statement, mga kapatid, the cash flow statement analyzes changes in cash and cash equivalent. We are going to present a sample computation of cash flow statement later, no? At sa pag-solve natin ng problem sa face-to-face natin, okay? So we have here cash and cash equivalent comprises cash in hand and demand deposit together with short-term, highly liquid investment that are readily convertible to a known amount of cash and subject to insignificant risk changes in value, okay? Along with financial ratio analysis, cash flow statement is valuable tool to finance manager. The cash flow statement is used to evaluate cash inflow and cash outflow. Okay, so doon natin makikita class sa cash flow statement yung cash in and cash out depende kung operating activity, kung yan man ay investing activity or yan man ay financing activity. Okay? The cash flow statement can be used to answer the following questions. How did the firm finance its plant and equipment? So, ibig sabihin, okay, investing. Where did the net income go? What were the investment activities of the firm? Did it give dividends to the stockholders? Okay, financing. Did the firm generate enough cash for the succeeding year? Operating activities, probably. Okay? So, yan yung mga possible na sasagutin ng cash flow statement. Cash inflow and cash outflow. Okay? The cash flow statement, its purpose and functions. It provides relevant information about cash receipts and cash payment. Definitely. So operating activity ba? Investing or financing? It states the changes in financial position of the firm. It presents information on structural health, liquidity, and profitability of the firm. It gives insight on different activities of the firm. Okay, makikita mo dyan kung nag-allocate ba sila ng pondo para sa acquisition ng land. Makikita mo sa cash flow statement kung yung fund ba ay galing sa issuance ng stocks or bonds, etc. It determines the capability of the firm to produce cash and cash equivalent. Okay? So the main section of cash flow statement, again, we have operating activities, investing, and financing activities, which we are going to present and illustrate sa face-to-face natin class doon sa ating handout na isasagutan. Okay? So this ends our discussion class with regard to financial